Ladies and gentlemen, I was right. The Nintendo Switch Lite is coming on September 20th, the release date of Link's Awakening, just as I predicted in our most recent Nintendo Switch Mini Pro video. The Nintendo Switch Mini has become the Nintendo Switch Lite, and first published by Nintendo of Japan, we now have also information from Nintendo of Europe. And what is the big thing about Nintendo Switch Lite? Well, it is a controversial console, for one. It's a cheap console, it's a $100 cheaper console than the Nintendo Switch, but you cannot use it in TV mode or tabletop mode. It is just a handheld, nothing else. And it does not have any HD rumble, no IR motion camera, it does not support output to a TV and is not compatible with the Nintendo Switch dock. It is smaller than the Nintendo Switch, which is 102mm by 239mm by 13.9mm with Joy-Cons attached, while the Switch Lite is 91.1mm times 208mm and 13.9mm. So the Joy-Con size remains the same, but it is shorter and less wide than the Nintendo Switch. It weighs less than the Nintendo Switch, just 275 grams, has a smaller display, and display is still in 720p, 5.5 inches LCD screen, and also has a capacitive touch screen. One thing that the Nintendo Switch Lite does have over the Nintendo Switch is a longer battery life, to 20 to 30%, but there's so many power banks, there's so many different accessories that you can take with you, which we'll cover in a future video on the channel, that can compensate for these sort of things. But if you just want to have a Switch Lite with a little bit more battery life, but all these other disadvantages, then I guess it's cool. And of course, we have a D-pad back, so that's another thing that is very cool about Nintendo Switch Lite. I like to play with the D-pad, especially games like Super Mario Maker 2. I've always preferred playing with the D-pad. For 3D games, it's completely unusable, but it's cool for navigating menus. So the Nintendo Switch Lite comes in more vibrant colors. We have a blue version, we have a yellow version. In many ways, just like the Joy-Cons. So the whole system has a different color, and it seems to be more of a 3DS or centered revision of the Nintendo Switch, which makes sense since we have Link's Awakening coming out on September 20th. We already have Fire Emblem Three Houses coming out on July 26th. Then we have Pokemon Sword and Shield November 15th. We just mentioned 3, probably sometime in October. It's in the third quarter of the year. Yeah, I have some mixed feelings. Like, on one side, it's a cheaper Switch. It means that a lot more people will be able to afford it, but you cannot put it out on a TV, which is a big bummer. So the question is, should you be buying this instead of the Nintendo Switch? I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Link's Awakening bundle announced during the Nintendo Direct in September, which will also detail more, but hardware-wise, I feel like this, on one side, is impressive, but at the same time, $100 difference between the Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch Lite with all these disadvantages is not the best thing, because if we look at the news release, this is translated, by the way, from the Japanese press release, it says dedicated Nintendo Switch Lite revealed. It's only portable. Nintendo Company Limited, head office Minamoku, Kyoto, by President Shintaro Furukawa, has developed a Nintendo Switch Lite, which has further improved its portability by specializing in Nintendo Switch mobile mode, that will say handheld mode, undocked mode, and will be released on September 20th, 2019. The suggested retail price is 19,980 yen, that will say $199, and the body color can be selected from yellow, grey, and turquoise, which is a color that we also had for the Game Boy Color back in the day. And on the UK website, we have a little bit more information regarding the system as well. Nintendo of UK states that the Nintendo Switch Lite is dedicated to handheld play, the console for gamers on the go. Nintendo Switch Lite is a compact, lightweight addition to the Nintendo Switch family with integrated controls. Nintendo Switch Lite supports all Nintendo Switch software that can be played in handheld mode. It's great for people who have lots of opportunities to play outside, and also for anyone who wants to play online or local wireless multiplayer with friends or family who already own a flagship Nintendo Switch console. And this is the thing about Nintendo Switch Lite. It is a console that is completely handheld. It is not possible to connect to the TV, so it's kind of the Nintendo 2DS of Nintendo Switch. Here they also made a list of functionalities, but also questions. If a game supports Joy-Con functions such as HD Rumble, IR motion camera and Joy-Con motion sensors, some features will not be available using Nintendo Switch Lite alone. Joy-Con controllers sold separately are required to use these features. So the Nintendo Switch Lite supports the wireless use of Joy-Cons. That is actually quite interesting. And that is because affected software like Snippet Clips and Mario Tennis Aces would otherwise not work with the systems. In these cases, users will need to have a device to recharge Joy-Con controllers, such as the Joy-Con charging grip. You can still link up to 8 consoles for multiplayer. Local multiplayer, where you can sync up together up to 8 Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch Lite consoles, but also online multiplayer with the Nintendo Switch Online membership, where you can play with friends far away and players around the world. Access a growing library of classic NES games, hopefully soon SNES games, since they're putting out arcade games as we saw just now. Specification wise, it looks to be pretty much the same. On the back you don't have the kickstand, you still have an entry for both the cartridge and the SD card slot. Since it still has only 32 gigabytes memory, it has an audio jack, volume buttons, power button, and game card slots. On the button you have the USB Type-C connectors, the speakers, and the micro SD card slots. And other than that, you have the same features like the home menu and a few more pictures. So in many ways, this is a console that is cheaper, and for those that just want to use the Nintendo Switch in handheld mode, because you will never ever be able to connect it, though you never know. So some third-party accessory manufacturer may come up with the Nintendo Switch Lite accessory so you can connect it to the TV, but it doesn't look like it has any sort of output. So this is quite surprising actually, and it's surprising that you cannot, like, the only thing that is really surprising is that you cannot dock it with the TV, even if you buy a separate dock or have a dock already. You can't put it on one side. Well, dock will never scratch your Switch Lite, and secondly, since it's smaller, it means that the dock would not fit the Nintendo Switch Lite. And that's probably why they decided to go for just handheld mode and portability all alone. So that means that if you have this, you'll have to play Super Mario Odyssey fully portable, Breath of the Wild fully portable, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and so on. And the question is, yeah, you can not use peripherals like the GameCube controller when playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, or I don't know what I feel about this. I would have preferred a Switch Lite dock, but it doesn't look like it has any output capabilities. But if third parties come up with something, then maybe we could see something from Nintendo as well. But this is a little bit underwhelming compared to what we hoped for, which was dockable Switch Lite, and this is just a portable Switch, but it still offers the capabilities of the Joy-Cons, and it has no HD rumble or camera, so I think it's a little bit too much of a downgrade in order to justify a $200 price tag. I think that the Switch, with all its capabilities, portable and TV mode, is a much better deal for you than going with this. But then again, if we get a Link's Awakening Zelda bundle along with these three that will say yellow, turquoise, and grey, then I'm pretty sure that many of us will buy it anyway, because it will be the first Zelda bundle for the Nintendo Switch Lite, or the Nintendo Switch in general. The Nintendo Switch Pro now seems to be the big hope for Nintendo, with increased resolutions, increased performance when it comes to frame rates, because the Nintendo Switch Lite is a little bit of a letdown, and I really want to see your honest opinion in the comment section down below. Most of us, of course, just as I mentioned, will pick it up for the Link's Awakening bundle. That is certain that we will get probably the Direct, because it will be stupid. It's coming out on the day of Link's Awakening, and we probably will get the bundle for Link's Awakening. We already had revisions like with Majora's Mask 3D, with A Link Between Worlds, and so on, and the Switch has had no Zelda bundle yet, so it's a given. But I have big hopes for the Nintendo Switch Pro, and I will not be surprised if it's revealed and released. Maybe not this year, because why would we need it other than for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which is a third-party game? No, this is a system that they are saving for the next Zelda game, the sequel to The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And then we'll also get a proper Breath of the Wild themed Nintendo Switch. What do you think, guys, about the Nintendo Switch Lite? Is it a little bit of an letdown, or is it exactly what you've been looking for as a 3DS owner who just wants to play your games portably? Leave your reply in the comment section down below, and to not miss any future Nintendo Switch Lite, Nintendo Switch videos, Zelda videos, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, press that shiny notification bell, as this is just the beginning of our coverage of the Nintendo Switch Lite. And other than that, thank you to all our gracious patrons, and in particular royal producers Kenyatta Ali and Bradley Carriage. You can check out what we have to offer on patreon.com/commonrealm, and I will see you in the next video, which will actually be tomorrow, and then we have another video coming on Saturday. So look forward to more content here